I shot Ryan's actual first series really before he was Ryan Murphy. It was a little teenage show called Popular. And once again, I walked into a situation. It was under the umbrella of Michael Robbins' company, so it was still kind of an outflow of the Botchko world and et cetera. And Ryan was unique and wanted to do things that blew my mind. And it was so far away from the normal over-the-shoulder storytelling. It was outrageous and hysterical. One time I had to call him and say, come down here and talk to me about what you want to have happen in this scene, because Mary Cherry was in a cornucopia, and it was like, and so Ryan comes down and he just goes, I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I'm going, wow, okay. So he was a new language for me. But I shot 6 episodes of that. I think the next thing he did was Nip Tuck. I shot 10 episodes of that. I shot 6 episodes of Glee. I shot one, and then I got banished. And then I shot 1 episode of Roanoke, American Horror Stories. I don't know whether other people have this relationship with Ryan, but I do. I felt so much a part of his family and his company. I have no idea what happened after 5 episodes of Glee, but suddenly they didn't call me for the next year. I was devastated and heartbroken. It took me months to get over that feeling, because it was such a special, the material was so special. And cut to a year later or something, I don't know even how long later, I'm going to shoot Animal Practice on the Paramount lot, and I round the corner and I literally run, physically into Ryan. And Ryan said, Elodie, oh my goodness, how great to see you, blah, 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 blah. Off we go. And 3 days later, I have an offer to shoot his half-hour The New Normal. And I realized that whatever I did, whatever seemed like a legitimate reason, he didn't give it a second thought once it had been made, once that had been made. And I suffered. So I learned something, and I decided that I wouldn't ever let that happen to me again. So I then shoot 5 of 12 of The New Normal. And then I went back to shoot another episode of Glee toward the end. I can't remember, I shot the last episode that Corey Monteith was in, and then I shot one more after that. And I got banished again. And I think part of the issue of this is that you never know. And so often this is the case on any show. If you've done something they don't like, they don't tell you. So you're out there in the ethers trying to figure out what it was you did. And I really wish there were a mechanism for actually helping people to do better. But I don't know what that was. And then a couple of years of American Horror Story go by, and then my agent gets this call from Ryan and or his people saying, we need Elodie to shoot this episode. And it wasn't convenient for me. It was a problem. And we're trying to maneuver around it, and Ryan was Ryan. And Ryan says, no, she must, I have to have her, and she has to come and she has to shoot this episode. So I do. I go, I shoot this episode of American Horror. It was, once again, revelatory. I had so much fun. It was such a different style of shooting. It was so challenging, and I was so happy with it. it got reviewed all over the place as being the best episode of that season, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's it. I've been banished again. And I've not worked for him since. So that visual is one thing or another, but it was content. The things that he, in Nip Tuck, the situations that he put me in, that he made me deal with, were just, I can't even, mind-blowing. I was close to 50, I guess, and I'm having I'm shooting scenes with transsexuals having sex with the sun, and I'm shooting amazing, weird operations of people whose silicone has leaked into their bodies, and I'm shooting Julian having sex on the glass desk with a limber, plant-watering girl whose legs are so limber that they're every single episode, I was like, there was a little part of my brain going, I don't think my mother thought this is what I was going to be doing at this point in my life. It was so much fun for that reason.
Annette Murphy has directed quite a bit now. Was he ever giving you input in terms of directing episodes you did for his shows? Or did he leave you alone? Or
no, he left only if I asked. He actually, my impression was he really liked what I did, because they hired me to do the first episode of The New Normal, and then I kept getting asked to do more and more and more, and they kept saying, well, why are you hiring her for all those things? And I go, she kind of produces the best episodes, so we sort of have to honor that. And I don't know what the preface of that conversation was like, she's such a pain in the ass, why do you hire? I don't know. But I do know that I was under the impression that he really liked it. And so for the most part, he doesn't step into that space for other people. And his view of directing has really evolved over time. It's very different than it was when he first started. So those conversations might be different now than they were then. He was so committed to style that the whole thing about getting people to actually have real emotions and do all of that stuff wasn't of much interest to him at the very beginning. Now, his work is so rich that I'm assuming he's incorporated all of that into his work.